Hello, and welcome to the Quit Drinking podcast, the show where you learn tips, tricks, tactics, and strategies for quitting drinking, or just taking a break if you want. This episode, we're going to talk about some of the best, in my humble but pretty accurate opinion, for the best non-alcoholic drinks to really fall back on and lean on when you are trying to stop drinking. Sometimes you just feel like having something that resembles some sort of alcohol drink, but isn't. And so that's what this episode is about, are some ideas and things that I really like and I still drink from time to time if I feel like having something that resembles a drink without actually drinking. I know one of the big pressure points on stopping drinking, especially at the beginning, are if you go out to eat with somebody or a group of people that you would normally crack the wine bottle with and drink with them and drink during dinner and then maybe head out for drinks after dinner. So sometimes at a restaurant it can be kind of a freeze on what to get. And here's some ideas and thoughts on some non-alcoholic drinks when you are trying to quit drinking. The first one is a new one that just recently came out that we discovered in my house, and it is actually an IPA, non-alcoholic beer from Partake, or as my wife calls it, Partake. So it's Partake IPA. They also make a pale, but it's non-alcoholic beers. And what's interesting about this IPA is that it's got the really strong hops flavor of an IPA, an India Pale Ale beer, which of course is stocked with hops to preserve it back in the day, and that you can taste that, and it tastes like a actual beer, but it does not have alcohol. And one of the interesting things is it only has like 10 calories or something like that, mostly because the flavor, I guess, mostly comes from the hops. And there's a little bit of malt drink with alcohol removed as well. So Partake IPA, non-alcoholic beer, you can in most places get it shipped to you. There might be some states that don't allow it. I think it comes out of Canada. But anyway, that's a fun one, especially in the summer when it's hot and everybody's drinking micro beers. You can crack this IPA and have it without alcohol, and it actually kind of looks like you're drinking some sort of micro brew because they have such varied cans on them. Okay, another non-alcoholic beer that I really like is Old Milwaukee non-alcoholic beer. It actually kind of looks like you're drinking an Old Mill. It's got that maroon color, maroon and white, and I think there was even a picture of a pinup girl on one of the ones that we bought. But this is a kind of a classic tasting non-alcoholic beer. It actually feels like a full flavored beer. It doesn't have that kind of shallow taste of an O'Doul's. O'Doul's, in my opinion, is not the best. It'll do if you're in a pinch, but not the best non-alcoholic beer, even though it is so popular. And Old Milwaukee is one that's not available everywhere, but it's becoming more commonly available, and it is a really good tasting non-alcoholic beer. So try that one out too. Now, if you're in a mood for wine, there is a brand called Free, F-R-E, that makes both red and white, and maybe even a bubbly one, champagne style wine that's alcohol free. And so this is kind of a nice thing when you're at dinner, and some of the restaurants will, I know, at least in my area, have started having this free red wine there, and you can have that and look like you're drinking wine like everyone else. At first glance, no one will know that that's what you're drinking, and even if they look at the bottle, it looks like a regular wine bottle. So one thing, though, if you do go to a party where there's a lot of people drinking wine, and you place your glass down, it might be easy to lose track of which one's yours. So you might want to keep some sort of marker, or I know that they call them wine glass charms, to keep wine glasses straight. So borrow one or bring one if you want to do that to keep it straight so that you can keep drinking your great non-alcoholic red wine, red or white or bubbly or whatever you want. That's free, F-R-E. Another good drink that resembles a mixed drink is just plain old-fashioned club soda with a lime in it. Now you may want to maybe have them put like 2 straws in it. Sometimes they put it in a different type of glass than they put the alcoholic drinks to keep them visually separated, but this is a drink that for the most part at first glance it looks like you're drinking a gin and tonic or club soda and vodka or whatever, but you're not. You're just sipping on club soda with lime in it. Usually it's really cheap to drink these, sometimes even free. People just assume I'm a designated driver a lot of times when I'm drinking things like that, and they just keep filling it up. And that happens about half the time. They just kind of give you a club soda with lime complimentary. So that's another one that if you're in a mood for something that looks like a mixed drink, you want something with some flavor, do club soda, squeeze the lime in it, put the lime in it, and have that. Now the fifth one is probably my favorite non-alcoholic beer. It just has such a great flavor, and it's just really good, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it when you know what the brand is, and you wouldn't really think this would be a good, high-quality, non-alcoholic beer, but I'm telling you, it is really good, and it's widely available. And I'm building the tension up here. It's Busch, so it's Busch non-alcoholic brew. It's available a lot of places, convenience stores, grocery stores, at least where I'm at. It's pretty much everywhere that you want to try and find it. And it's just plain old Busch NA, but I tell you, the flavor of it is probably the best non-alcoholic beer that I've had, and I've tried almost all of them. And it's just this tried and true kind of old-fashioned beer flavor. It tastes kind of like you're just drinking a lager or like a PBR or something like that, if I remember right. And Busch NA is just a really good fallback that's widely available. Golf club, bars, convenience stores, random bars have it. Just a really good fallback, fail-safe, non-alcoholic beer. Now, so those are five. Those are five that I've thought of. The Partake IPA, non-alcoholic beer, which is great. Old Milwaukee, non-alcoholic beer. I like that one. The free brands of wine, F-R-E, free. Red wine, they make a white wine. I think they make a sparkling one. They're good. They're worth trying out. Club soda with lime in it, if you're in the mood for a mixed drink type drink. And then the fallback, fail-safe, in my opinion, the best one, non-alcoholic drinks, is the Busch NA. Now, there's all sorts of things you can do. You can order Virgin Bloody Marys, Virgin Daiquiris, Virgin Pina Coladas. You can get Bloody Mary mix in places. Drink that. I remember every time I'm on a plane now, I always listen to what people are ordering for drinks around me, and it's always interesting. I bet you will start to listen around you for what people are ordering, and it's amazing how many people do order actual mixed drinks or whatever. And one of the things that they serve on most planes, because they can sell this and make Bloody Marys for people or let them buy the vodka, whatever, is the Bloody Mary mix. It's like this extremely salty, something really satisfying about if you have quit drinking, the high salt flavor, the high salt of this Bloody Mary mix, and it's just so satisfying. And my mouth is watering right now when I'm thinking about it. It's just a very good thing that tastes really good if you have stopped drinking or are even taking a break. And if you're on a plane, order one of those up and you don't have to pay for it typically. All right, so those are some ideas for non-alcoholic drinks. When you try to quit drinking, it's nice to have some things to rattle off at a restaurant or bar or wherever you're at to deal with that pressure. And it looks like you're drinking something, it feels like you're drinking something, and you can relax a little bit. And it's generally a lot cheaper. You're a cheap date if you don't drink. If you want more information, for instance, we have a printable checklist for quitting drinking that you can download at quitdrinkingcourse.com. That's quitdrinkingcourse.com. Please subscribe to this podcast if you like at all what we're doing here. And also give us a good rating if you wouldn't mind, if you like this or like the theme that we're talking about. Just to be clear, I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a doctor of any type. I do some medical research, but not a professionally trained healthcare provider. You should consult your own healthcare provider, of course, before making any big changes to your health and lifestyle. This is the Quit Drinking Podcast. Thanks for joining us.